Hi everybody, Patrick here from Engineering Shock Electronics. This is the unboxing video for the Butler, and we're going to assemble the LCD in this video. We're going to talk about what you need to get started, and there will be an official getting started video aside from this one. So first things first, let's open our box. We got a piece of bubble wrap on top. We'll remove that. We've got our Butler right here. Now, if you pledge towards a Kickstarter campaign, you might have got a variation of this, but anyone who purchases the Butler from now on will have everything that comes in this specific box. This is a stereo cable. This is an NRF 24L01 Plus Arduino shield. This specific 24L01 Plus will come packed separately. I just popped it in there. And so that has its own NRF 24L01 Plus already installed. We've got 7.5 volt 1 amp adapter, but you won't need to necessarily use that unless a computer isn't around, because USB powers everything just about okay. We got some cable connectors, and we got this bag right here. So what does this bag include? Let's zoom in on it. We got a 1602 LCD, a USB cable for your computer to connect between the computer and the Butler, a Bluetooth adapter, HC-06, an NRF 24L01 Plus wireless transceiver, a PS2 to USB keyboard adapter, and 3 jumpers, and 8 screws, and 4 standoffs. So let's connect our assembly to our Butler. What are you going to need? A Phillips head screwdriver, and that's all. The Butler comes with the bootloader installed, so you don't need to worry about that, and it's also got the most updated iteration of the software, which is up at the project page at Engineering Shock Electronics, link below. And so you don't, once you plug it in, it will operate as it's supposed to, but we're going to need to take some steps to actually talk to it and to change the software. Now we'll talk about that a little bit later. First things first, what you want to do is you want to take 4 screws and place them on the bottom side up. And you can really do this if you want to install these screws to the LCD first, you can do that. What I like to do is loosely put all 4 standoffs on these 4 holes. So with all 4 standoffs just a little bit loose, it makes it easier to tighten them. What we're going to want to do is we're going to take our LCD, and the rail is on the top. The LCD comes tested, and we want to pop it in. You'll notice that 6 pins on the right and 6 pins on the left make connection to the board. There's 4 pins in the middle that don't do anything. So just make sure they're all inserted. And now what you want to do is you want to line up the screws on the top with the screws in the holes and tighten them like this. And do this slowly. There's no rush. This is really the only installation you need to worry about. And we'll skip ahead. With the screws on top secured, you can go to the bottom and give them a little bit of an extra tighten. You don't need to make it too tight. It will stay in place. Also, make sure that you never place the Butler on a metal surface when it's powered. Otherwise, you're going to short the circuitry and you can say bye-bye to your Butler. You know, a wood surface, plastic surface, anything that's not conductive. Another tip is if you're using the power supply to power it, you're going to want to use a surge protected output. Just get a surge protector, just because that's just an extra step on taking care of your electronics. If there's a brownout, you don't want to mess up your Butler. In any case, at this point, what we can do is you want to make sure that you take one of the jumpers and place it on here. Now there's a little header right here. You probably can't see it. It's right behind the active buzzer, and it's labeled PS/USB. PS is power supply. USB is USB. And for starting up anyway, you don't need to worry about your wall adapter. Short the middle and right pin, USB. And that'll allow for power to be accepted from our USB port, because in the next video we're going to connect to our computer and talk about the steps needed to really get started with the Butler, such as installing the CH340G driver. What's next? So, the SD card, if you want to use an SD card, it connects right here. It doesn't come with the Butler. Another thing that doesn't come with the Butler is the RTC, the real-time clock battery. Now, these batteries are extremely cheap and can be gotten from any dollar store. I can't ship batteries because of all the red tape involved, but I can show you what I typically use. I go to the dollar store and I get a 3-pack for $1.25 Canadian, and these fit right in here, and that will keep your your real-time clock live for more than a year, I think that it's rated for. They take very, very, very little power. In any case, if you want to at this point, you can connect your NRF24L01 Plus. Keep in mind that the NRF24L01 Plus covers the second dip switch, so if you're going to be using that, none of the second dip switches are used in the current iteration of software. All 4 of the top are, and we'll talk about those in future videos. You don't need to install your Bluetooth adapter. In fact, I only suggest you install it if you want to use it in a specific project, because it's a big power sucker, especially when it's connected to your phone and RoboRemo app. And again, that stuff I'll cover down the road. So I'm going to take that out, but make sure that if you're going to install it the right way. If you install it backwards like this with the writing facing the LCD, you're going to fry it. Make sure that the circuitry is facing the LCD, and when you power it up, it should blink. And it should continue to blink until it connects to your phone. But again, that's more down the road. We don't need to worry about that too much right now. If you want to use your NRF24L01 Plus, make sure the power is off, and make sure that you have a 2-pin jumper connecting right here. And that connects power to the NRF24L01 Plus. That adapter, that header is there just to save power. You don't want to use more power than you don't need. So if you're going to use the NRF24L01 Plus, make sure that is shorted. But you can leave that here, and it won't consume really any power if it's just left as is. If you wish to use the onboard relay, short this header right here with a jumper, and AN11, analog pin 11, controls it. Now again, we'll cover this, all these blocks in separate little videos. We'll talk about them all just to ensure that you get all the information you need. I want to cover everything. This is an unboxing video, but these are the Arduino or TTL or Raspberry Pi compatible outputs. You can make them 3.3 volts by shorting these 2 jumpers right here, but again, we'll cover that in another video. If you want to add audio to your project, you want to take the stereo cable right here, and you want to plug it from here to the stereo input of your powered speakers. The USB cable, the mini to USB cable, connects right here, and that will connect to any port of your computer, which allows for you to program it using Arduino. This right here is the PS2 keyboard connector. Now, PS2 is an older technology. Usually, keyboards these days come with USB, and so there comes this adapter. Now, some USB keyboards don't work with the Butler. I found that about 75% of them do, but some of them don't. And so what I've added to a later iteration of software, or the most recent rather, is I've made it so that you can call commands using the onboard keypad only. You don't need to necessarily use keywords to call programs. You can use numbers instead. You have access to the I2C lines right here. You can sample the microphone at any time, as well as the light sensor. The 8x8 LED matrix is at your disposal. There's an active buzzer. Power lines here for V input. It says 12 volts, but if you're using the external power, it's going to be 7.5 volts. There's a 5 volt regulated line and ground line that you can attach to. There's already a basic program in the latest iteration of software that allows for you to talk to an external Arduino with this NRF24L01 Plus shield using the onboard 24L01 Plus. But I'll elaborate more on in future videos because I'm not done supporting this project yet. There's still a lot of videos I want to make, and I want to make sure you get the biggest bang for your buck. The relay has 3 pins, NO, CO, and NC. CO stands for common. So the common pin is either connected to NO or NC at any given time. When the relay is off, the common pin connects to NC, normally closed. So by default, these 2 pins are connected. When the relay turns on, is activated with an active high signal, the common pin disconnects from NC and connects over to NO. So this is a single pole double throw relay, and you can control high power devices if you'd like. Just make sure that if you don't have experience with higher voltages, that you work with somebody who knows what they're doing. I removed the NRF24L01 Plus adapter just so that you can see underneath the second dip switch. This chip right here is the main brain of the entire unit, and it is the Atmega 2560, which is the same processor used in an Arduino Mega. So that's what we'll use. We'll use the Arduino IDE to program our Butler. And of course, here is the very large audio library, and if you want to check out the lookup table, check out the project page, link below, and you can you'll have instructions in the fundamentals video on the project page, along with the most recent iteration of software. Along with that library, there's instructions on how to look up a specific sound or word and to play it via the stereo output. So that's the unboxing video. In the next video, we'll talk about getting started, connecting to the computer, downloading the libraries, etc. Thanks for your time, everyone. I hope you have a great day.